All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jasmine Patriquin. I'm the Injury Prevention Coordinator here at Lutheran Medical Center. And I just recorded this whole video in slow-mo. So I apologize if my words aren't as eloquent this time around. It is my now second time recording. But this is just going to be a brief video to go over the background of our fall prevention course, Friends Don't Let Friends Fall, and to outline your role and expectations as physical and occupational therapists helping with the course. So a little bit of background. This course was first brought to Lutheran Medical Center in 2019 by Chuck Alt and Brooke. I'm going to totally mess up her last name, so I'm not going to try. But many of you may know Brooke, and she has since moved on to another role and position, location with her family in the last year. So I'm gonna now help lead facilitate the course with my co-facilitator, Chuck Alt, who's our regional director of community benefit for Lutheran and for St. Joseph Hospital. And so Chuck is well trained. He was one of the people to go over in person to the Netherlands and receive the in-person training. We're both very familiar with the course and excited to get it back up and running. It did have to go on hold for 2020 with COVID precautions, and we're just going to bring it back in October, starting October 20th, as an adapted course, as an abbreviated course. So instead of a 4-week cohort, we're just going to meet for 3 weeks at a time. It's going to be a 1-hour long class, and we are only going to cover the obstacle course portion. We are not going to include the agility exercises or the fall training on the big mats. We did that to limit the amount of contact, transmission, exposure, and risk for participants right now. As time goes on, we will be able to add those things back in, but for now, we are just going to focus on the obstacle course, which will be really beneficial and really fun for everyone. And hopefully this will give people a chance to come back through the course when it reaches its full capacity again. So I'm going to cover a little bit of what the course will look like and then what your role will be. I'm going to send out attachments with this video that will include the floor plan for the obstacles so that when you come to the gym, you can help us set up the course itself, and then a list of all of the obstacles and what participants are supposed to do on the obstacles. So there are, I'm forgetting the exact number, but there's about 10 to 15 total obstacles, and participants are meant to interact with the obstacle and figure out how to overcome the obstacle. They all mimic a normal daily living scenario that would typically pose a fall risk for someone or be a tough balance situation. So these obstacles are meant to be recognizable in real life, and you'll see in the attachment what some of those things may be. But for example, one is a rough and an unsteady sidewalk. So somewhere where there may be cracks in the sidewalks or loose pieces of concrete or tile. Another is stepping up onto a stool and reaching up and getting a cup out of a cupboard like scenario. So different things like that people, again, may encounter every day. So many of them will do the obstacle course with minimal difficulty. Some will find some obstacles really challenging, but the goal is to identify for an individual what their actual risks are, what scenarios they need to be more careful or more aware of, but also to hopefully identify scenarios that they can overcome and they maybe no longer have to avoid. The narrative around fall prevention is often avoid things, and we want to help older adults realize how they may be able to strategically overcome a risk Or if there are some that really pose a high risk for them, then those things they may need to avoid. But these many other situations they could add back into their life potentially. So by doing this, we are reducing fear of falling. We are breaking the cycle of avoidance and inactivity, which just perpetuates falls. So it's a really cool program. They will always go over the obstacle course once, just normally, so that they can figure out the obstacles and what they're supposed to do. And then as time goes on, we add challenges or adapt the course. So at one point we'll turn off the lights, or we'll do it in lower light, so that visually it's a little bit harder. We'll have them carry trays so that they can't see their feet or look straight down as they're walking. We will have them listening to an audio stimulus and performing a secondary task while they're overcoming the obstacles. And then we'll switch up the order of the obstacle course. So we'll have them starting at a different point, or we'll have them do it in backwards order as opposed to what they're used to. So all of these things will sort of create this, or not allow the brain to just get used to the obstacles and used to the order, but we're constantly switching it up so that they are challenged throughout the course, and so that they meet these different scenarios that may prepare them better for what they'll encounter outside of the class. So for you all as our lovely PT and OT facilitators, we will have everybody stationed at a certain point on the course. We do that strategically so that people are next to obstacles that typically pose more of a challenge for people, or people are more unsteady. And you can choose those. We'll kind of assign them, but we'll make sure people are dedicated to a spot on the obstacle course. And then you'll help people over it, so you'll instruct them how to do the obstacle. And if you need to provide hands-on support, that's absolutely okay. So if somebody reaches out or asks for help, you can assist. If somebody is not asking for help but clearly needs help to remain safe, then you are able to assist them as well. And we will give them the instruction that if we need to help them, to allow us to help so that everybody stays safe in the room. So these are community dwellers, but if you need to provide a hand or grab a waist belt or something like that, you're able to do that. So safety always comes first. And then if you're with a participant on the course, you're able to provide one-to-one feedback or recommendations within your scope. So my background is in nursing. There are a lot of adaptations and strategies that I won't know exactly what the person needs, or won't be able to provide that in totally professional recommendations. So your expertise is very valuable. You will probably get many questions, and people will want to share with you their individual risks or struggles or impairments, and I highly encourage you to help address those in conversation and provide recommendations for walking strategies or for adding in assistive devices. If we have those conversations on the course, it's easy to get backed up. So I would suggest that you kind of take note, allow that person to keep going, and then pull them back into a conversation during a debrief or at the end of class, and go through that with them off of the course, so that we just don't get a big backup. And then lastly, after each session on the obstacle course, we'll have debrief time with the participants. So we normally have some welcome and introduction, and then have everybody do the course with whatever adaptations, and then we'll all sit back down and do a debrief together. And Chuck and I will have some debrief questions prepared. But you all are welcome to jump in with additional questions and thoughts and answers, and that will be really valuable. Remember that a lot of participants may have hearing impairments, and it's a very big and echoey gym. So if you do participate in that, please just maybe stand up and face everybody so that they can hear, project, and all those things. We'll try to repeat what everybody says so that everyone catches all the information that they need. But please, please, please participate in debrief and spend time with the participants. Other protocols, every participant will come in and sign a waiver to start off the class. If we do have a fall, because we are at an outpatient facility, we will call 911 if there is an injury that needs to be evaluated. So Chuck and I will be there and sort of know the protocol as well. West Pine staff will be there. But if somebody is injured and needs to be transported to the emergency department, we call 911 and they will be transported by ambulance. We have not had to transport by ambulance with this course yet. We have had one sort of controlled assisted fall, but that is why it's so important to be at your area on the obstacle course and make sure that people are moving at the appropriate pace and not getting backed up and are not unattended. So we have to be very aware and cautious as people are going over the course. So that is all for this video. I am going to send the attachment of the floor plan, the list of the obstacles, and I will also link a video to like a highlight reel from a previous class in 2019 that will show you a little bit more about the course. If you have any questions at all leading up to it, please feel free to reach out to me directly or to Chuck, and we will try to address those concerns. There are several people on your team who have helped with this class previously, and I'm sure would love to share their experience. But basically, we just want your expertise in the room. We need your hands and your eyes to help people across the course and to help provide recommendations to them as they leave. So thank you for participating, and we look forward to seeing you in the class.